I don't think it's going to happen that way. Advantage, though, for the Rockets, you got a healthy CP3, supposedly, hopefully. You got Harden. You got PJ Tucker. You got Clint Capella. You got the players on the team. They did the report, man. It didn't like that. I didn't like that report either, says A-Trap. All right, let's take a break. When we get back, I got some boxing news. I've also got some college basketball news, got Stanley Cup, also the Benny Awards to the top performers of the weekend. You can put them in there right now. When I get back, I will definitely shout those out. The weekend wrap-up show right here on X Squad Radio. Be right back.
We all hate when we have unexpected car problems. Well, I am here to tell you about a viable solution. Bay 11 Auto and my man Melvin. You have emission problems? Brakes need changing? Transmission slipping? Is your car just driving sluggish? No problem is too big. I live on the other side of town and I drive over an hour to a guy that I trust. Melvin is honest, dependable, and definitely not in the business to break your pockets. Come see the official mechanic Melvin at Bay 11 Auto. You will be glad you did. You can reach him at 1455 General Arts Road, Conyers, Georgia, or 404-295-5715. That's 404-295-5715.
We got a beat in the background by none other than Maestro Styles, co-host of the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. So let's get into some boxing news here. Errol Spence Jr. is getting close to fighting Sean Porter. Errol Spence Jr., undefeated welterweight champ, IBF. He's going to be fighting Sean Porter. Unification of the belts. Right now, it looks like a non-pay-per-view fight, so we'll see what happens. The Spence-Crawford fight, though, is going to be the major fight, I think, in that division. So we'll see if that happens sooner rather than later. Also, a familiar name that used to play for the Cowboys, used to play for the Panthers, Greg Hardy, TKO's the guy in his first UFC win. We'll see what happens there. Let's see. It was definitely the Rockets with the report. Mark Cuban, for some reason, seems to have a vested interest in said report as well. Interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting. And I'm ready for Mark Cuban to step away from the Mavericks. You're already not that involved as it is. You got linked into some sexual harassment issues. I would want it to be handed over to someone else. But I don't know why he's so interested in the report either. James Harden and CP3 have manipulated the rules in their favor in the last few years. The refs are tired of their antics or tactics. It's a new day in the Bay, says my pops. Benny Award to Kyler Murray being the number one pick. Kevin Durant balling out the last 3 games. And the last Avengers movie, $1.1 billion. Now, if there is anyone that is listening and is a barber in the Bay Area, I need you to break in to Kevin Durant's house and just line that hair up real quick. You know, just I don't know, just give him a taper fade or just shave it down evenly. KD in that hair, man. And maybe that's his playoff hair. Maybe that's what it is. But KD is feeling it right now. KD is feeling it. I do think this will be his last year with the Warriors. But this maybe just be a part of playoff KD. Not cutting your hair, not combing it either. And I do fantasy sports. I named my fantasy team because Kevin Durant was on it. I named it KD and the Brushes. So KD was the lead singer. The Brushes were the backups. But KD is still a baller, though. I can clown his haircut all I want, but he continues to ball out for the Warriors. Benny Award to the life of John Singleton, R.I.P. Yeah, and I talked about that at the beginning of the show. That was tough to see because I know he still had great movies, great TV shows he was writing or producing. So that was definitely a sad note. Definitely sad to see and to hear. So Chris Beard, the coach of Texas Tech, has signed a 6-year extension, $4.75 million annually, making him one of the nation's top paid coaches, third highest paid. Number one, Texas Tech had to do this because if they didn't do it, somebody else would have did it with the quickness. So heads up and shout out to Texas Tech for getting this deal done. So as of right now, he is third, which means number 1 or 2, you got Coach Cal, you got Coach K, and you got Chris Beard. The recruiting is going to be great for him to come in a kid's living room and say, we just went to the national championship game, a shot or two away from winning it, and I did that with one 5-star recruit, some transfers, and really, to be honest, some nobodies that nobody really knew. So imagine what I could do with you, 5-star recruit sitting across from me, if you and some other guys come on this team. So shout out to Chris Beard. Al Thompson in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Why do you like Canelo versus Jacobs fight this weekend? I like Canelo in this one. I don't see Jacobs with enough to get it done, but if he does, congrats. A-Trap says, I'm so glad he's staying. Love it. Benny Award to BS3 for another hour since I missed the show. Katie said, you know who I am. And Chris Beard, I think, is huge, not only for Texas Tech, but for college basketball, because you have a team in Texas Tech that has had a bunch of coaches. They have Bobby Knight, if you want to highlight him. They had his son. They had a couple of good years. Darvin Ham back in the day, breaking the glass against my Tar Heels, if y'all remember that flashback, Throwback Tuesday. But this is huge for college basketball. Real quick, let me put a plug in for the next show. H-Rap B, End of the Bench, will be coming on next with a hard-hitting show, giving you his opinion, giving you his excitement, and breaking down what he's going to break down. So make sure to tune into that. Last day for the X Squad Radio contest. You get a chance to win $100. xsquadaffiliates.com/contest. If you're a new listener, you have not entered in. We had a previous contest. So I'm going to say this to the new listeners out there. We're doing a Reach One contest so that we can continue to grow the network. Stanley Cup, and specifically I'm going to talk about the Dallas Stars. They win game 2, but they actually lose last night. So the St. Louis Blues are up 2-1. I believe the Stars can come back. That's the only team that I'm paying attention to. Until you get to the Stanley Cup Finals, then I will pay a lot more attention to it. But until then, to be honest, I'm paying more attention to the NBA playoffs than I am Stanley Cup, but my Dallas Stars are in it, so I'm paying attention to them. I'll probably do a pop-up show this evening to close out the contest after H-Rap and Knox. Definitely, Mo, great idea. Let's continue to push the contest. So here's my Benny Award winners for the weekend. The Arizona Cardinals, who did what they wanted to do. They didn't care what anybody else said. They didn't care how much Josh Rosen pouted. They got their guy, they traded the other guy, and they also added depth onto that team. Mandel Ray, Look up that name. He is a former Morehouse College cornerback. He got an invite to the Raiders camp. I'm excited to see what this kid is going to be able to do. Hopefully he gets a shot to make it on the team. Even if it's just a practice squad, get your foot in the door, young man, and dominate. So looking forward to that. Nikola Jokic, over the weekend he had a triple-double. Come into last night, he scored 37, 2 points less than Dame. Dame had 39. So Nikola Jokic continues to ball out in these playoffs. Albert Pujols, I talked about him last week, I believe. Albert Pujols passes Lou Garrett and Barry Bonds for now third place on the all-time RBIs list. Albert Pujols is going to continue to break records because he is up there. He's been in the league for a minute, and he's showing these young bucks what it is. And he's going to continue to break records. So I'll probably be talking about a record next week too. And last but not least, my Texas Rangers, they not only beat the Mariners this weekend, but they beat them 29 to however many runs the Mariners scored, but they scored 29 runs over 2 games. So shout out to the Rangers doing their thing. HBCUs in the building. Yes, HRAP. Getting more NBA players to come coach at HBCUs, getting more former NFL players coaching at HBCUs. This is the beginning of HBCU dominance. So let's go. All right, so we are at the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm so excited to be back behind the mic. I missed Friday's show. I will also not be doing a show at my regular time this Friday. I'll keep you guys posted, though, on if I'll do a pop-up or something later or what I'll do. But definitely keep you guys posted on that. And also, before I go, shout out to Vince Carter coming back for another year. Vince Carter coming back for another year. His 22nd season. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. HRIB coming up next. End of the bench. xsquadaffiliates.com/contest. Enter in to win $100. Peace.